Hey everybody, this is Carson and I'm back with more Operation Recall goodies. This is pre-production stuff that's going out to the Kickstarter backers that backed at the pre-production level. And so this is the painting for Cadavers. Absolutely beautiful work by Doug Hart. His highlights and shading, anatomy, just flawless work. And then here is the beautiful Damselfly. And this is her in her mercenary version. So she's going to be a mercenary that's working for Orthrus at first. And then by year 2, she's going to be dyed-in-the-wool Orthrus with an entirely different deco and a bone mask to join the club. So there's the Damselfly painting. And then next up is Snakeheads. And we've got the pre-production packet as well as the painting going to the same guy. And Snakeheads is the one illustration that Doug put a full environment for. And I absolutely love it. So let's go through the pre-production packet. Show you guys what he'll be getting. So this was the initial concept, and it was a deep sea diver. And yes, we definitely went pretty far away from that for a lean and mean diver figure, lean and mean swimmer. And that was, that all came out in this ideation process that I'll show you. But so he started as a deep sea diver, and I want to give you guys a heads up. There will be a year 2 figure with a different waist, torso, head, helmet, backpack, all kinds of stuff, and he will rise again. This deep sea diver will be released. So we're getting Snakeheads first, and then we will be getting this character year 2. All right, so let's look at ideation. This is so badass here. I love this deep sea diver outfit. Anyway, so we are revisiting that, and we are making that figure, and Mark Pennington has already completed all design work for yet another figure. So this is all for Snakeheads, but the deep sea diver we are doing all new work for. So this was very instrumental going into our final figure. And so once we got this, all this artwork from Mark, then Kirk Baziggy and I got together, marked up all of our feedback. I typed up the notes, sent it to Mark, and then also sent along photocopies with illustrations of the kind of stuff that, the kind of concepts that we were talking about, and markup of the illustrations for elements to keep. So you get to see kind of the process there. The webbed hands. Mark Pennington did Hydro Viper back in 1989, and that was one of my favorite figures. So really cool to see him doing another deep sea diver. This guy's gonna be awesome. All right, and then underwater rifle. This is a real Russian gun. This is a real dart gun, and giving him input on accessories, that kind of thing. Here's everything that we wanted to come with. He comes with a boatload of accessories. Here's the file card by Larry Hama. That was done by that time. So this is the revised line art for that figure. This is the figure sculpture sheet that was sent to the sculptor Mike Good, as well as the accessory sculpture sheets that were sent to Mark Jerwig. Of course, he's done all of our accessories for year 1, and he's already working on year 2. So here are color studies for Snakeheads. Love it. And again, this is all Mark Pennington's work. You're going to see that deco again. He'll be a year 2 figure with a different head sculpt, a removable mask, and his name is Tiger Shark. So you're going to see him again. And look at this beautiful presentation art. You hate to pick favorites from your children, and this might be my single favorite piece of presentation artwork for year 1. Just the way he rendered the water in the background with the markers. Oh man, it's just gorgeous. And then the precision of Pennington's line art is always flawless. But yeah, so combine his super precise detailed inking work there with the very gestural marker background, and that is just a lethal combo. Snakeheads looks amazing. So then it went off to Ed Morrill, and I laid out all the accessories and the figure on the pack and gave him the space that we were going to have to deal with for packaging. And then that was turned into a painting. This is a kickoff sheet for the sculpture, so let's get through that. Again, giving photo references for different costume elements. This is the big light on his chest. This is maybe a belt buckle inspiration. This is a pistol on his thigh. And then giving the color studies and the file card, this figure sculpture sheet, the accessory sculpture sheet. All that went to the sculptor. This is Tiger Shark's final color study. So he's a year 2 figure that you'll be meeting. We actually have an entirely different head for that though. Bill Merkline had this beautiful head sculpt, and we ended up using that instead. All right, and this is the package art kickoff for Doug Hart. So just seeing all the stuff that I sent Doug. And of course, you know, you've seen all those sculpture sheets, but this is really where the meat and potatoes are. So a lot of reference, you know, both from drawings and 3D renders from the accessories, but note that the blades should be really serrated. Ed Morrell's an original sketch for the pose, and then photographs with the 3D renders and a posed figure, trying to help lay out and give Doug as much reference as possible. Gave him the presentation art, obviously. And then this is the final composited painting on a proof card that is 6x9. And then here is the painting by itself. And here's the painting with Larry's file card. This is the figure insert sheet. So on the proof card, you may have noticed that he's got a purple background. So flip forward a couple, you have a 2.5 by 3.5 inch little pamphlet that's going to fit right behind the figure, and it's going to show all the ideation, and then it's going to show the color studies, the figure sculpture sheet, the accessory sculpture sheet, the presentation art, and then when you flip that over, you're going to have a big, beautiful mini poster of the unadorned package art by Doug Hart. Then you have a nice little collage by John Earl and Gabriel Mangum. And that's it for Snakeheads. So I'm going to be sending this packet and that painting out to a very, very lucky backer. Thanks for joining. I'll be back with another one.